Welcome back to another video where we look at really low level strategies to help you win your low elo League of Legends games. If you are diamond or above, you probably know all this stuff. You may say if you're gold or above, you may know all this stuff, although I've watched some gold games and I'm telling you, not everyone in gold knows these things. So if you're struggling in low elo, you are in the right place because I'm going to show you how to win your games kind of every time. Now, if you're new to the channel, I'm the guy with the worst mechanics in the game. My champion pool is crazy limited. I cannot play ranged champs. I can only play melee champs. I've got a lot of mechanical problems. Part of that's because I'm an old man and my reflexes are really poor. Yet I still win the majority of my games. So if you come in with just a little bit of mechanical prowess, you'll be able to use these tips to absolutely steamroll your games. So we started this game off with a late invade on the blue buff. It got spotted out. I recommend against this 100% of the time. But I stuck around because I thought I knew what my Echo was doing. It would turn out I was partially right. He kind of knew what he was doing. We'll talk about that as the game goes on. One last thing before we really jump into this. I don't record my games live often because there's too much going on for me to concentrate on everything I'm trying to tell you guys. I really wish I had recorded this game live though. This Riven got so salty, it was crazy. And you'll see why. We'll talk about it as the video goes on. But know that throughout this whole game, the Riven was just BMing all over the place, and not just flaming me, flaming everyone in the game, flaming everyone on my team, flaming everyone on his own team. Just absolute BM, League of Legends at its pinnacle worst. But when you watch this game, you might even feel bad for him. You'll understand a little bit why he was so upset. So, let's get into it. So the important thing to know is that my strategy for this game is to avoid feeding the Riven. Everyone knows what it's like to be on the receiving end of a fed Riven. It is not fun. So I'm going to just use wave manipulation to eke out a small lead in my lane, and I'm going to use that lead to take objectives around the map later in the game. So what I wanted to do here early is shove the wave so I push it under turret, and then that way the wave will bounce back to me. Now pay attention closely because this is one of the mistakes I see in low elo all the time. When you are shoving your wave, you really need it to get all the way under the turret. And if you watch carefully what this Riven does, she prevents all my minions from getting into turret range. This, if I don't address it, will allow her to set up a freeze which will make my life miserable. So that little engage that we just had there where she damaged the minions, that is the same thing as getting my minions under the turret. It prevents her from freezing. Now, when the two waves meet, they're on Riven's side of the lane. That means the wave is going to automatically push back to me over time. I'm sitting perfectly where I want to be. Now with the wave pushing to me, I'm really just trying to soak up all the experience. I'm not even worried about the CS. I know the Riven can take me at any time, so I'm just staying within XP range and allowing that wave to push into me. Taking the CS where I can get it, but I'm really not doing anything too fancy. The Riven shoves the wave all the way into the turret, props to her, and then she backs. This allows me time to farm and heal up with my Q. Now when Riven comes back to lane, I've got a big wave on my side and she's just got one wave on hers. This is a critical point in the lane. I'm trying to figure out if Riven is going to continue to allow that wave to push towards her or if she's going to push it back to me. She pushes it back to me, and that's what I want. But even more than that, what I really want her to do is what she does next. She leaves my lane after clearing a wave and allows me to set up a freeze. I messed the freeze up a little bit, got a little bit of bad RNG, that's okay. But now I'm able to sneak in a quick back and really not lose any XP, lose only a little bit of CS. In the meantime, the Riven takes her business down to our mid lane. I had pinged and pinged, but my mid laner didn't pay attention, and he dies as a result. So Riven gets the kill, but notice what happens when she comes back to lane. Because of my attention to experience, I've got a level lead on her, and I've got a full wave here to help me attack her. So I chunk her out a little bit. I'm just trying to shove the wave. I'm really not trying to fight her. Remember, my goal is to not feed the Riven and to get an experience lead that I can spread all over the map. So I start the process over again. I shove the wave, I take a really bad trade in doing so, but I get her to push the wave back to me. And now I'm repeating the process that I did for the first part of laning phase. And this works perfectly. She shoves the wave, I'm soaking up experience, I'm just avoiding fights, and she leaves me with another golden opportunity. I get to set up a perfect freeze here, and this would have been wonderful if I had followed my own commandments, but I didn't. What I did was I listened to one of my teammates. The Echo was calling for my help, so I broke my freeze so I could shove the wave and then go help out. But nothing really goes according to plan. The Echo gets out for free, he's safe, and now I'm in this weird lane state where I can't really fight my Riven, and I don't have a freeze anymore. So what does the Riven do? She does what all Rivens do. She kills me in lane. Look, I should have stuck to my game plan. I know that, and I blew it, and it cost me. It's frustrating for so many reasons. One, look at this big wave that just rolled in that I know I'm going to miss all of. All that XP that I gained when she roamed, it's all gone now. And I've got no one to blame but myself. I could blame my jungler for not coming to gank. I could blame my mid laner for allowing Riven to get a kill. But none of that has anything to do with what my objectives were for this game. So what I decided to do was take a risky chance at getting some extra XP from the enemy jungle. It kind of paid off. I got the XP, but I also died. Not worth at all. Because again, I miss a big wave that rolls right under my turret. This is a problem, and I have to address it. So I commit to myself mentally at this point, look, it's just time to farm and avoid the Riven. And I do just that. I commit to commandment number 1. I'm going to stay in my lane until I knock down that tier 1 turret. I'm very careful. I set down vision when I can. When I lose sight of the Riven, I back up. It's just that simple. I'm not taking any chances. Also, I decided to back frequently so I could spend the money that I had. There's no use having gold in your inventory. Gold is only as good as the items it affords you, so I'm buying items frequently. When I see the Riven show up, I just do everything I can to avoid a fight, even giving up lots of CS. When I have a teammate nearby, that's when I take the opportunity to push out a little bit more and get some extra vision. I'm not pushing to try to fight, I'm pushing to get vision so that I'm safe when I push later. And all of this leads up to one pretty big opportunity. When I see the Riven get shut down by our support, I know I've got a window of opportunity to make something happen here. And I'm going to break commandment number 2 to do it, but I'll explain why. So first, I shove the wave as hard as I can, and I take a bunch of damage onto the turret. Now I'm assuming that the Riven is going to have to come respond to me here. And she does. And so I grab a quick back, and then, knowing that the Riven is stuck in the top lane, I TP bot lane where there's a fight breaking out. This is a little bit of a gamble, but it pays off big. I end up getting a kill, my team wins the fight, we get an objective, and I get back in time to successfully push the Riven off of my tier 2 turret. So really, the Riven probably got some golden XP from the waves that she farmed, but other than that, I didn't lose anything. I gained a kill, I got my team some momentum. This was a big win all around. I do have to say, props to the Echo for calling for this TP. I told you sometimes I didn't think he knew what he was doing. Sometimes I feel like he really did know what he was doing. This is a time where he made a really, really good call. But it's also important to note that I had some really specific criteria for what made me feel it was okay to leave lane. And then would come the play that would bust this game wide open. I return to farming in the top lane. I still got to take that tier 1 turret, you know. And I see the Riven. But so does the rest of my team. And the Yasuo and the Kai'Sa make really good call to come up here and help me kill her. The Riven wants to fight. The Riven wanted to fight all game. That's all she wanted to do. And I'm willing to take this fight. There's 3 of us and 1 of her. And I know we'll win. And we do. Now, this was great for a couple reasons. First, Riven was by far their strongest player. Anytime we can get Riven off the map, it frees us up to do whatever we want elsewhere on the map. You can see here I was able to push the wave, almost get a turret, and get another kill. But the second reason why that kill on Riven was so big was it made her furious. She was flaming us. It's 3v1. Why? That's no fair. Why don't you fight me 1v1? At that point, I knew she was tilted out of her mind, and she was going to continue to take any and every fight she could possibly take. And that led to this. A team fight breaks out in the mid lane, and I just said the only thing I need to do is worry about this Riven. And so she goes in to try to get our Yasuo, and I'm able to pick her up on the back end. Yasuo did a really good job of staying safe and stalling this fight out. So we chased Riven down through the jungle outside our raptors, and as much fun as this Riven made of me all game for my bad mechanics, check out that hop over the wall, right? We all have misplays. It's not a big deal. Maybe you shouldn't point out everyone else's if you're going to make the same ones. Anyway, Riven's off the map again, and we can do what we want. We take that really valuable tier 1 turret in the mid lane, and then I back, and I'm back to focusing on objectives across the map. We decide to go 5-man the dragon. It's a pretty good call. It would have been great, except our Echo gets really hungry for a kill on the Riven and dives into the middle of their team. It wasn't a great call. Like I said, the Echo ran hot and cold. But I was able to pull off another great move. I TP'd to the top lane thinking that I'm going to be able to get this turret. Now, the enemy is really quick to respond, and spoiler alert, I don't get the turret. But notice how many resources they send to me, and notice what they get for it. So here, the Riven can probably take me on her own if I don't have my ulti, but they also bring in the Lucian and the Samira for insurance, and they must not have their flashes, and I have mine, so I'm able to get away. This made the Riven even more mad. She kept flaming me in chat, saying I was too scared to fight her. She's not wrong, but also it's important to know I didn't need to fight her to win the game. I know that. She apparently doesn't. So after another quick back, I decided to take my presence to the map and figure out what objectives I can take. I push the mid wave, sneak into the enemy jungle, steal some of those camps. I'm trying to starve the jungler out, trying to get myself as much money and as much XP as I can. And then I see that there's no one in the bot lane, so I go down there to try to take this tier 2 turret. And this is my absolute favorite play of the game. I push this wave, and I see that the Riven is teleporting, and I just back up. You would have thought that I murdered the Riven's puppy dog. The Riven was so angry. She was so tilted that I wouldn't stay and fight her. All she did was flame me all throughout chat, saying how I wouldn't fight her. She's right. I just burned your TP, dude. I don't need to fight you. I got everything I wanted, and I'm still alive. And then I decide I can come back to the bot lane and try to take another objective. But a fight breaks out, and this is really important to watch. Now, typically when I'm split pushing, I'm prepared for multiple people to show up to try to get me. 4 of them show up in the bot lane to try to chase me down. I know I can't fight them, and so I back up. If at the end of the day this is all that happened, this would be a total win. I just wasted everyone's time. But then I see that the Riven has come to try to collapse on me as well. My team's coming, and so I'm not too worried. I know I can get out if I want to. Instead, I decide to try to help and take this fight. It goes pretty well, and we get a kill on the Samira. There's some kills traded back and forth. Overall, this is a win. I would love to pause the video right about here and tell you that was the end of the story, because this was a win. But, just like everyone else, I make mistakes. We decide to pursue the fight and take it till its ultimate end, which unfortunately was an ace. Not for us. This is a big mistake, and it highlights the mistake we all make. We all get greedy, we all think we're better than we are, and we all try to take every little bit that we can. Sometimes we just need to know that we've got enough and we need to back up. I've done that several times throughout this game, but I didn't do it then, and I was really upset about it. Regardless, I return to the bot lane knowing I can get some objectives. I take the tier 2 turret, I push the wave in, and eventually I get this tier 3 turret, the inhib turret. And it came at the expense of my life, but I did trade the Lucian's life for mine, so another win. At this point, I'm figuring we've got this game won. Our Echo is really getting a lot of kills. The Riven can't really stay on the map as much as she wants. And so I know our focus on objectives is winning. We are slowly choking out the enemy, and we are 100% going to win this game. It's not even in question. But there is one thing that I want you guys to comment on in the comments below. Let me set the scene for you. We've knocked down a couple inhibs. We're taking the Nexus turrets. this game is over. There's no doubt about that. It's just a question of when. And so here I am, as a Tryndamere, with my ulti and a GA. Do you think I can take this Nexus? Do you think I can take it before they kill me? Should I stay on the Nexus? I panicked. I ran away. I didn't think I could do it. At first, obviously, I thought I could between my GA and my ulti, but then it appeared I wasn't doing enough damage, and so I tried to flee. It didn't work out. I died, but the game was pretty much over at that point. I would respawn. I wouldn't even make it to the Nexus before my teammates finished closing the game out. So, that's the video. If you want to beat the Riven, don't fight the Riven. It's pretty simple. Hey guys, make sure you focus objectives. That's what's going to win you games. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hit the like, smash the subscribe button. See you next time.